I don't want to give you a rosy, rose-colored glasses view of the world, but I also realize that if there is not some semblance of hope, it just becomes very difficult to get through the day. We are now looking at three-quarters of the nation being ordered to stay at home. 30 states have issued stay-at-home orders, encouraging these measures that are to prevent the spread of coronavirus. There are some areas that don't have such an order, big metropolitan areas like Dallas, Texas, Philadelphia, Birmingham, Alabama. But they are, metro areas in states without such orders, but the actual cities do. Let me clarify that. Some metro areas in states that don't have the stay-at-home orders, like Birmingham, like Philadelphia, like Houston, like Dallas, those cities have stay-at-home orders, but the state does not. It's all very difficult. It's hard to know how to enforce it. You saw that beautiful, beautiful vision, that image of the Navy ship steaming into the New York harbor yesterday, and the media promptly reported that people were ignoring social distancing guidelines to stand along the shore and watch the ship roll in, shoulder to shoulder. Have you seen images of the subways? Check out the F train at 6:30 in the morning. It's shoulder to shoulder people. It's funny, you go into a store, and I'll occasionally go to the grocery store or Walmart, but for the most part, staying home. But when I go into a store, people may kind of stay away from one another. Other people don't. Some people seem oblivious to it. Get right there in your grill. I'm sort of like backing away. On the other hand, I see people in stores with masks and gloves. These are scary times. But there is news for some optimism. Today, of course, we are looking at a grim milestone, over 3,000 deaths related to coronavirus, around 900 deaths from New York City alone. But let me share some statistics and some data that might give you some reason for optimism. And again, that's my goal, is to give you. I'm an optimistic guy. I know we're going to survive this. We're going to get through this. We're in for a couple of months of a real rough stretch. But together, if we can try to tamp down the partisan fervor, if we can stop going at each other because of our ideological differences, if we can realize that the virus doesn't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat, it doesn't discern, if we could just be unified, we will lift each other up and we'll come out of this thing bigger and stronger and better than ever. I believe that, incidentally, with all of my heart, that all of these industries that are being terribly impacted, they're going to come roaring back. Restaurants, movie theaters, live theater, things that are now dormant. There will be such a hunger for this stuff. And really just about any line of work. It may look a little differently when we come back. There may be a lot more people working from home than used to. We may do things a little differently in terms of the way we go about our day. But when we come back, it's going to be a pretty impressive thing to see. There was a very extensive medical journal, the Lancet Infectious Diseases, that just was released yesterday. Let me give you a couple of takeaways. The coronavirus death rate is lower than earlier estimates. Overall, this research estimated that 0.66% of those infected will die. Again, this is a lower estimate than earlier reports. Now, it's still higher than people who die from the flu. That's around 0.1%. So it's 0.66%. When undetected infections are not taken into account, the death rate is around 1.38%, which is more consistent with earlier reports. So Fauci has always said, if you just do the math is about 2%. It could be lower. Well, this extensive research estimated that about 0.66% of those infected with the virus will die. Meanwhile, as we look at this is a time that we're having great introspection. We're thinking critically. We're looking at issues through a different lens. I just wanted to share some words from Dennis Prager, one of my colleagues. Of course, he right now is featured in the movie No Safe Spaces, and we got a great opportunity as we're staying at home. If you want to see this movie at home, a movie that so many people love, right now for a limited time, we've got you a discount here at Team Gallagher. This movie, of course, is a sobering reminder. No matter who you are, if you say something or express a view that the radical left doesn't agree with, they're going to do everything they can to come after you. This is one of the most important documentaries that you'll see, No Safe Spaces. And if you go to nosafespaces.com or go to my website, mikeonline.com, and if you enter the promo code SALE25, you'll get 25% off the live stream. And that one low price will allow you to watch the movie as many times as you want until May 31st. So it's a great, great opportunity to see this terrific movie, No Safe Spaces. Dennis wrote a piece that appeared at townhall.com talking about the divisions between the left and the right. And it's at some days I think we're getting better, then some days we just slip into madness. Yesterday, Mike Lindell, the MyPillow creator, appeared with other business leaders and company owners with the president and the coronavirus team to explain how MyPillow is now manufacturing face masks for hospital workers. Now, Eric, you got me? Okay, that's okay. Mike Lindell appeared with these other business executives to talk about the manufacturing of face masks that Mike Lindell's factories are doing. They've kind of retrofitted or reconfigured 75% of their manufacturing capabilities for pillows to manufacture face masks exclusively for hospital workers. Okay. People went crazy on social media attacking him. The media attacked him. CNN cut away. They acted like the devil himself appeared. I'm thinking, what in the world? Why are you? Oh, that's right. He's a Trump supporter and he's a Christian. And he stood there at the podium and he said a few things about supporting Trump. He announced what MyPillow is doing at the president's request for hospital workers, manufacturing about up to 50,000 a day is the goal here by Friday. 50,000, hundreds and hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of face masks that hospital workers desperately need. And he was viciously attacked because he's the MyPillow guy, because he's a friend of the president's, and because he invoked the image of God in the Bible at his address there, at his speech yesterday. He said we ought to go back to the Bible and read the Bible and remember God in a time like this. Oh my gosh, the things they said about him, what a charlatan, snake oil, toady, sycophant, what's he doing there? And this isn't just anonymous people on Twitter. These were media people. These are columnists. These are pundits. These are people who write opinions for a living. Tearing Mike down, mocking him and attacking him. And I kept thinking when I was reading all these reports, what are you doing for hospital workers? What product are you manufacturing that our frontline heroes desperately need? I saw an image the other night of New Yorkers leaning out their apartment windows, cooped up obviously for weeks and weeks, and they're clapping and cheering as hospital workers are beginning their shift at one of the hospitals in the New York City area. These people are putting their lives on the line in many cases. Sometimes they're retired nurses coming out of retirement to go back and help. They're dealing with the sick and the scared and the dying. And Mike Lindell's company is helping to produce face masks that are needed in these hospitals, and people want to attack. If you're going to attack a guy whose company is trying to help hospital workers right now, there's something wrong with you. You've got something really terribly wrong with you, and you want to. Here's what Dennis writes about the left-right divide over COVID-19. Dennis asks in his column at Town Hall, why this left-right gulf right now over a virus? One reason, Dennis says, is that hysteria is to the left what oxygen is to biological life. Leftists pride themselves on being rational, but the further left one goes, the more feelings displace reason. A second reason is hatred of Trump. On the left, damaging Trump is more important than truth, and more important than the welfare of the American people. If Trump believes hydroxychloroquine offers hope, well, let's debunk its usefulness. A third reason is leftists are afraid of life and of death. Fear of life is why they build safe spaces on campuses for students who can't handle a visiting speaker with whom they differ. They're afraid of death. They undoubtedly find Patrick Henry's famous cry, "Give me liberty or give me death," incomprehensible, if not downright foolish. Even COVID-19, Dennis writes, has brought no ceasefire in the ongoing American Civil War. I wish we'd see a ceasefire. I wish we did. I really wish we could back off of the partisan politics and try to be in this unified. And I'm trying every single day.